Trayvon Martin, the conversation continues here, the killing of Trayvon Martin, a conversation many are saying is needed throughout all of America. Why is it happening in America now? I'm bringing back anti-racism writer and activist Tim Wise, and Natalie Brown and her son Nicholas Haswell are here along with mom Deetta West. Also with me, attorney Holly Hughes and former police investigator Alex Manning. Thank you all. But first, we want to go out to Sanford, Florida, where this story unfolded, and hear from a mom there. Here's CNN's George Howell. George.
Well, we were just talking about this case. We were watching the show, and tell me, again, what did you want to talk about?
That I am a mother of, I am a Trayvon Martin mother. I represent all the women and mothers of a Trayvon. My son was taken away. He was murdered, and the Sanford PD have not done anything to resolve this matter. It was November 3rd, and we need justice. All the mothers of a Trayvon in Sanford, Florida, we need justice. We need some kind of closure, and we're not getting that. In order for us to bond and combine as a community, we need to get justice for all this.
And basically giving this open mic tonight to people, that's really what we've heard. Again, people saying that there's been a long history of disconnect between the community and the police department. And at this point, do you feel like it's moving towards some sort of a resolution, some sort of solution? No. The resounding opinion here, Don.
All right, George, thank you very much. Thank that mom and the entire group there. We're going to get back to George in just a little bit. You're going to hear more from Sanford, Florida, but we want to talk now more with our panel. This could, if you hear that mom, and again, that's the allegations. Those are the claims from the people who are there, right? And sometimes, you know, usually if there's smoke, there's fire. This could open up a hornet's nest around the country. Do you?
Well, maybe it should, Don, if what these citizens are saying is our police department is not protecting us. We live here too, and yet our sons are being murdered in the street, and there's no investigation, and nothing is being done. So if these allegations and these concerns that they're raising are true, it needs to open up a hornet's nest. And you know what? I hope some real important people get stung.
Deetta?
Yes. I'm trying to hold back.
Why? Go ahead.
It's very painful because you feel like our young black men are being set up to be target practice. And I'm sorry. I said to myself I wasn't going to go there, but as I think about these amazing young, and I'm even dealing with the senior men, the older men, I'm nervous when my husband says he's going for a walk in our neighborhood. For fear that someone's looking outside. He has to put a hoodie on if it's cold outside. He has a close cut on his, and that makes me nervous. My son comes home for spring break. He's a student at Georgia Southern, and he comes home and he says, Mom, I'm going to take a walk. I don't really want to say to him, don't go for a walk, but I know he needs to because he's a little overweight, and I just say that. He may hate the fact that I'm saying it, but he knows that he needs to walk and get that exercise. But here's my son walking through the neighborhood. I'm fearing that someone's looking out of their window, and we live in a somewhat of a gated subdivision. I'm sorry,
There's no need to apologize, because it's a very real and painful reality for, I'm speaking as an African-American. I can't speak as an Hispanic. I'm not Hispanic or any other person of color. I'm an African-American, and I know it's a painful reality that many of us face. And it's not only painful for the black men, it's painful for our mothers and the women in our lives who worry about us and who have to have these conversations with us. And there is a big segment of the population who don't believe that it exists at all. I think Charles Blow of the New York Times put it in great perspective. Growing up, you have to, the tone in your voice, it's a little bit higher when you're talking to people, you speak like this, instead of your natural tone. The way you carry your body, it's something that you unconsciously live with, and it can rise and make you angry and make you blow up at times and make you change the way you live. You stop wearing hoodies. Why, Nicholas?
Because of the situation. It's just, I don't want to end up like that, or, you know, be labeled as someone I'm not for wearing a hoodie and walking outside at night, or just coming home from school, going to take a job with my friends, you know.
You're wearing backwards cap, and some people may see that as suspicious or whatever, just as they see the hoodie as suspicious. It's fashion. I see white kids doing it. I see Hispanic kids doing it. I see all kids wearing their hats backwards and wearing hoodies. You stop wearing a hoodie, but do you think that has the same sort of connotation by you wearing your cap backwards?
Not really.
No?
No.
Mom? You ever thought about that?
Well, yeah, it does have. You're still going to be looked at, no matter how you dress or how you present yourself. It's still going to be a problem. And I feel that every kid in the United States, whether it's here or across seas, they dress like this. Everyone does it.
Yeah. Dad, are you okay?
I'm okay. I was just thinking about a friend of mine. Her name is Tandria. She has a 16-year-old son, and she was telling me a story about the fact her husband, whose name happens to be Trayvon, they were going for a walk. This was a couple of weeks before Trayvon was shot and was killed. And she said that as they were leaving the house, it was in the morning, and they put on their hoodies, to go out. And she stopped them and said, "You guys take your hoods off." And the son's looking at why. I mean, this is a student. He's 16 years old, about to go to Drexel University,
right.
And now he's questioning, where are the laws to stand your ground? Is it going to be, what states?
All right, stand by. Thank you. Thank you all for sharing, for being so open. Next, we'll go back to Sanford, Florida for more live community reaction. We're giving people in the Sanford, Florida community a chance to talk about the Trayvon Martin case in their own words. George Howell standing by. George.
Well, one thing, Zimmerman's attorney has stated that this was not racially motivated, but many people here, we talked to them, maybe have a different opinion on that. I wanted to talk to you specifically about what you were telling us a minute ago as far as George Zimmerman and the Sanford Police Department. Your thoughts on...
The Sanford Police Department initial investigation was ridiculous. Here's a man standing with a weapon in his hand, and they take his word that he's never been arrested. Then they do not do a background check on Mr. Zimmerman. How is that possible when they stop me at a traffic light and do a background investigation on me? If Sanford Police had done what they were supposed to do initially, we would not be here tonight because Mr. Zimmerman would have been arrested.
The thing that struck me that you said a minute ago was that Mr. Zimmerman, not as much the problem to you as the Sanford Police Department?
Because I understand where Mr. Zimmerman comes from. I can recognize Mr. Zimmerman's all over. But the Sanford Police Department is supposed to be equal to all, not favor anyone. How do you take this man's word that he's never been arrested and he's standing over a dead body with a weapon in his hand? If that's standard policy and procedure for Sanford, we need a new police department. That's ridiculous.
So a lot of opinions out here at this point, people not really satisfied with what's happening with the Sanford Police Department, Don.
Thank you very much, George. Thanks everybody there as well. Alex Manning, let's get solutions. What should have been done? How should police have handled this?
There should have been a complete investigation. Don, right now, my sister and I grew up learning this. Baby, you can't unscramble eggs. There's scrambled eggs down there. Right now, they need to make themselves an omelet. The DA needs to get involved. Do the right thing. Go back, recreate the crime scene, find probable cause. Decide what that is. The police don't decide if he's guilty or not guilty, just probable cause. You can't unscramble the eggs here. They got to make the omelet. So everybody chip in, Florida Department of Law Enforcement, the DA's office, the federal government, fix this.
That's the crux behind all of this. Police don't get to decide that that's what everyone is saying. There's a procedure, and then someone else decides whether or not this man should be prosecuted.
Exactly. I don't care about his self-defense claim. He committed a crime. There was probable cause. He should have been arrested. The jury decides whether he's guilty or not guilty.
All right. Thank you very much. I want to thank everyone, to Holly Hughes, Alex Manning, our moms, Dieta, Natalie, and son Nicholas, and of course the people down in Sanford, Florida, who turned out to take part in this discussion. And Tim Wise as well. Don't forget about Tim. Tim, thank you. We appreciate you joining us. Wish we had more time. Always a good discussion. By the way, Tim, pound CNN, Trayvon, and Tim Wise trending on Twitter because we had such a great conversation about this. So continue that. We'll be right back.